Hello everyone and welcome to Behind the Stories. I'm your host, Tyler Hill. As Communications Coordinator for Arlington Community Schools, I have the pleasure of traveling around Arlington to tell our districts and our students stories. We have more than 4,800 students, 500 employees, all with stories to tell. Stories of creativity, stories that inspire, ones of adversity, and some that make us laugh. Well, behind the stories, we'll get a glimpse into the great things happening in our school system. And on some, we'll dive in deeper to go behind the story. Like the one you're about to hear, Natalie Phillips is a sophomore at Arlington High School. She's a Girl Scout who recently earned her Girl Scout Gold Award. In and of itself, the Gold Award is a phenomenal achievement not everyone earns. But Natalie's story is extra special. Special because of who she helps and how much heart she puts into it. Take a look.
If you go outside during class, that's automatically an awesome day. And so them getting to play around in this and not just having to sit in a classroom, it's just great for all of them. I've been in Girl Scouts since kindergarten, and I'm currently a sophomore at Arlington High School. The Gold Award is the highest achievement that you can get as a Girl Scout. It's a super big deal. For your Gold Award, it has to make a lasting impact on your community and be able to last for years and years and years. And Mr. Rawson reached out and asked if I would like to help and build the sensory garden. And of course I was like, yeah, I'd love to. That was a little bit over a year ago. And since then we've been planning, gathering donations. I sent out videos to my friends and family, and almost everyone that I reached out to was more than willing to help out.
She put in a lot of work for it, doing research on sensory gardens, just raising the money, the manual labor of building these gardens with these heavy blocks, and it was a lot of work, but I'm super proud of her and it just turned out beautiful.
The functional skills kids learn about their senses in different ways, and they're at that age in, kindergarten, first grade, where you're just starting to learn about all of that stuff. And so being able to come out here and not just having someone tell you about it, and being able to, touch the rosemary and smell it and experience those senses really helps with learning. And they can play around and act like they're planting in it and listen to the gravel. All of the bright, colorful flowers, they're going to attract butterflies soon, and so that deals with sight. There's wind chimes and a xylophone, which we got for them to make music and play with. It all really ties into what they're learning and gives them a whole new way to experience it. I feel really proud. I never thought that it was gonna look this good and that the kids would like it that much. I had my doubts, obviously, but I didn't need to, because it turned out even better than I thought it was going to, and I'm really proud of it.
And we're so excited to have Natalie in the studio today. So Natalie, we shot that story back in August, and I want to throw out some stats to you because I think it's really impressive. So since we posted that video in August, it's now reached 62,000 people. It's had over 200 shares, and it's been watched for almost 110 hours. So how does it feel that so many people were, one, either moved by your story, or at the least they were at least interested because they watched it and they kept sharing it?
I never thought that it was going to get that big, and the fact that it has been shared that many times is amazing, because it might just be inspiring other people. They might be making sensory gardens of their own or just helping out in their community a little more, and it's awesome to think that I might have helped start that.
Yeah, and obviously, as the story talked about, and as you told us, you are a Girl Scout. The Girl Scouts national Facebook page, their Twitter, and their Instagram actually picked up the story as well and shared it. How did that feel?
That was really just the cherry on top of the cake. It was awesome, and it kind of boosted my confidence a little more with the project overall, to know that they saw it and thought that it was amazing.
Yeah. And what's funny is Natalie and I were talking, last month, back in September, and we were talking about how at the time we shot the video, you actually hadn't even officially earned the gold award yet. So we were doing a story talking about, oh, that's great, you earned this gold award, but you didn't even have it in hand yet. But now you've told me you do officially have that award. I mean, what really went into that? Did they just tell you you've officially earned it? What was that process like?
Yeah, so I had to fill out an entire application, do an overview of the project, send in paragraphs, how it was gonna be kept up, like without me. And I got an email back a couple weeks later saying, congratulations, it's been approved. And I was like, thank God.
Yeah, we did a video on it, I hope so.
You shared it.
That's good. Well, I mean, I'm sure that at least made you feel at ease when they shared the video, because you were thinking, okay, well, surely I'm going to get it at this point since they've shared it. So talk to me about what the garden is like since we last visited it in this video. Have you been back? I know that it's up to Donaldson to maintain it from this point forward, but have you been back? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I go back periodically just to like check up on the gravel, if there's still enough there, if there's too many weeds to water it. So I still check up on it because I do want to be a part of it. And I've heard from my mom who works there that all of the teachers constantly come up to her and take out their classes, and all of them absolutely love it. And it's amazing to think that I made that and that they love it.
It's got to make you feel great. And I know that you just brought it up that your mom works at Donaldson. And we didn't get into it too much in the video, but that had to make the project a little more special, right?
It was, yeah, it did make it a lot more personal because it kind of reminds her of me when they go out there. And so like when I go off to college, I know you mentioned in the interview for the original video, but when she goes out there and I'm off to college and I'm no longer home, it can kind of keep a piece of me there with her.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, the Gold Award, you were telling us how that's kind of the pivotal award. It's the main award that you can get in the Girl Scouts. So does this mean that you're done with the organization, or are there more opportunities for you to continue?
There are more opportunities. Like I can still be involved, but right now I can be a Juliet Girl Scout, which is I don't have to be a part of a troop so much, so I can kind of be more on my own and more pick and choose if I want to. And this is my last year though, officially, so
yeah,
it's kind of weird. It's been so long.
Yeah, well, and you're leaving the organization at least with a huge project behind your belt that is long lasting, and it's going to impact a lot of students at Donaldson and in Arlington Community Schools. Now, we didn't go into it a whole lot again in the video, but you spent after school hours, weekend hours there. I mean, it took a lot. I know you were obviously a part of it, your mom, your dad, but also some faculty at Donaldson, the plant manager there.
Yes.
So talk to me about how long it actually took to put this together. A while.
A long time. I can't even think about. We went there so many weekends for like sometimes like 8 to 10 hours a day, laying down pavement and bricks and stuff, which is a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, did you have to level the ground as well?
That's the plant manager up at Donaldson. He actually helped so much with that, and without him it would not have looked as good as it did, because if we had been left up to do it by ourselves, it would not have been level at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressive. It's behind Donaldson, so if you ever get a chance to just drive behind there, it's very nice. Like you said, you put down bricks, cylinder blocks makes up the garden, so it's very nice. My last question for you is, how does it feel, and it's got to feel nice, and you've talked about this, but that so many kids are going to be able to use this going forward, but also the type of student that it helps. How does that feel knowing that it's long lasting?
Well, the whole point of the project was to make sure it could reach out to students, and originally it was, of course, for the special needs classes. And the fact that it has branched off into the entire school, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, because you were thinking, okay, it's going to definitely help the special needs class, but now you're seeing that it's helping the entire school in so many different ways. So that's awesome. Congratulations to you on getting your gold award. You're only a sophomore here at the high school, so you have 2 more years. I'm sure we'll see more of you, and we appreciate you being here today.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll be right back after this.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter, your religion or, what part of the world you're from, that just sort of all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
Yo siento que soy parte de esa bendición que ese niño recibió al irse a su casa ya sanado.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Welcome back to Behind the Stories. So we're all familiar with a vending machine, right? I mean, it's easy. You walk up, you make your decision, you get your drink, snack, and you walk away. But at Donaldson Elementary, there's a new twist on the age-old vending machine. It's the all-new book vending machine. DES unveiled it to encourage students to practice reading and math. So here's how it works. Students must practice and take tests on what's called the iReady platform. So many tests and time on iReady earn students so many tickets, which earns them a gold coin to use at the vending machine. Now what's great? They keep the book. It's theirs to have and take home for a job well done. Well, it's not every day you get to fly on a Black Hawk helicopter. This powerful machine was first introduced in 1979 for the United States Army, and it's on the front line during military air assaults. Well, a senior at Arlington High School, John Morgan Fahey, got the chance to buckle in and tour the Mid-South underneath the blades of a Black Hawk. Let's watch.
And then the lady not across from me was Principal Duncan, but next to him, she was about to lose her lunch the whole time. She was sitting there holding her mouth. They dropped us so that you went up in your seat like a little zero gravity type thing, and I thought she was gonna lose it right there. Today we went to an Army National Guard exhibition show at Shelby Farms at the FedEx Center, and they had a presentation about what they do with the National Guard. And then they took us out into a field and gave us a ride in Black Hawk helicopters, which was really cool. The pilot came in and talked to us about what to expect. Like, it's a 4-seat buckle, he clips in on all sides. And he said, if you're prone to motion sickness, you probably don't want to be on it. And a couple of the other principals and stuff that were there went, I don't know about that. He also said that the far back right seat was the windiest one. And one lady sitting next to me, she said, I don't want to be in that seat. And I said, that's okay, I'll take it, because that would be cool, I thought. And we got out there and I was like, I don't know if I want the back right seat anymore. Within the first minute of being on the helicopter, I lost my earplugs. They went straight out, flew out the door. And then I got used to it after a little while, but couldn't look out the side next to me. I had to look across and watch out that side because the wind was so bad and my face was like that. I knew that a helicopter could go fast, but I was faster than I expected. And then they got us really low to the ground over a runway, and I didn't know that they were allowed to do that, but it was cool. I want to be an astronaut as my profession when I grow up. I'm almost grown up. My dad was a Navy pilot for 24 years, I think. And so that's always been a part of my life. And I like it when I got up there, I was a little bit used to it, because I remember jet noises and stuff and seeing my dad fly around. So I want to be a pilot so that I can get enough hours to be a test pilot and then be an astronaut. So this was a nice little intro into aviation for that.
Donaldson Elementary is finding new ways to help children living with special needs. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Teachers are finding ways to specifically cater to each and every child and their individual need. Their newest method? A 140-foot-long sensory walk made to help kids with sensory development. For this story, we traveled to Donaldson to hear from the school's principal, Dr. Jill Hodum.
This is our sensory path. We decided last spring that we wanted to create something for some of our students that had just some special needs. And so we had started researching and sensory paths and looking at pictures and videos of other schools around the country that had implemented and built these, and decided that we had a great space for it here at Donaldson and wanted to give that opportunity to our students. Sensory development is, a very important topic in early childhood development, but we're seeing now we have students with lots of needs that the sensory path could benefit. So originally research showed it was very important for students with ADD, ADHD, students on the autism spectrum, students that needed some gross motor development, and even students with other sensory processing needs. But we know that it also can benefit, any student. So we have students that sit for a long period of time, sometimes in the classrooms. And so our teachers use it with all of our students. They use it as a brain break, a time where they can get up and move around, which in turn stimulates the blood flow, increases the heart rate, and so when they go back to the classroom, they can have a little bit more attention and focus. Students just do different types of movements. They hop through the planets or circle around the sun. There's some educational questions about layers of the earth, crab walking around the earth, and that was really important for us to have movements that incorporated cross-body movement, up and down, worked on balance, hand-eye coordination. And so we do have a path that the students can follow, but there are also some choices they can make. And we've noticed students will get off that beaten path and they will create some movements of their own. And that's kind of the beauty of it, just to be able to walk through and have some guidance about different types of movements, but then also give students some creativity. You can really see them completely engaged in something. Even though it looks like it's just, random movements, for those students it really is helping build those sensory pathways, and you can see them become focused and engaged. And when they get to the end of one type of movement and they have choices, they really stop and pause and think about maybe what can I do for my ability, or what do I need to try and challenge myself. And then you have students who can go through it very easily, and you have some students that want to be totally creative and ignore what the suggested movements are, and that's okay too. So it just hits a wide variety of students at all their needs. In our research, the largest we saw were like in the 40 feet category. This one is actually almost 140 feet. We just thought it was a great big hallway that really had a lot of traffic, but not a lot of use for our students. And we just thought, let's just fill the whole space. So we called Ferocious Graphics, which is a local company here in Arlington. Throughout the spring and the summer, we had lots of meetings, and lots of other people, provided input as well. So it was a pretty long process to get exactly what we wanted, but we ended up with a beautiful design that is custom, it's one of a kind. There's nothing like it that we have found or seen anywhere else. So we're really proud of the work that we did together.
Well, can you believe we are almost to the year 2020? The 20s are roaring back, and that has Arlington Elementary thinking of the golden age and the popular dances the era brought with it. Specifically, the Charleston. It's being used at AES to transform the PE class. You gotta watch.
We wanted to start the year out really fresh and fun with cardio drumming, and I said, well, let's do a music history as well. So I played a song from every single decade from the 1920s all the way up until today. And I said, hey, it's almost the 20s coming up, and it was the roaring 20s back then, so let's get ready and do the Charleston because it's probably going to come back. So we practiced the Charleston and the cardio drumming at the same time, and the kids loved it, so we decided to take off and go ahead and do the Charleston dance itself. It was really hard at first. Their stepping, they were off balance, and then I asked them to go watch the Andy Griffith Show on season 7, episode 9, which was a senior play where the teenagers actually did a dance, and they did the Charleston. They went and watched it, and it was excellent, and they started imitating exactly what they were doing. They don't realize that they're actually having fun and working out at the same time. That's what's so great about it. They're just having fun, and at the end they're breathing really hard, and that's the whole point, is exercise.
All right, and that's our show for the day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time as we go behind the stories, but we leave you more of the Charleston.